Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. So glad to be here. Wanted to just come in and share like this whole like feeling of the in between. Um, we are leaving the energy of all of that kind of like hibernation-y stuff behind, but not just yet. That's what I mean by the in between. So right now, and let me pull up my my handy dandy notes because it's always good to have those. And I'm gonna pull up my calendar if I can. Where is my stuff? For you know what? I'm just gonna look on here. So much easier on the phone sometimes. I need to get a bigger phone though because these are very small. So, anyways, let's see. Look at the moon. The moon, moon, moon. What do we got going on? So we are Gemini, which is an air moon. So lots of thought about decisions and should I go this way or that way. So because and then I bring that up only because I'm kind of feeling like that today. Not only is it kind of a dreary day here in Nashville, Tennessee, because we're transitioning from like really nice weather for like a couple of days into this kind of winter stuff again. Like literally went from like, oh, I don't need a jacket to we're gonna have ice storms. So yeah, the in between is strong, that energy. So right now, that's kind of the energy of the week that I want to kind of bring to your attention because today is the 30th of January. This is the weekly energy report for this week, the 30th through let's say the 5th of February. So we're into that embolic time. So, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. So I'm sure people will tell me if I'm not, but it's that time of year that is the in between time. So if you're new to my channel, I am Soul Coach Michele. This is the Soul Coach Studio TV channel or YouTube channel. And what I do here is I talk about everything spiritual, practical, without the glitter covered BS. And also, if you are watching this on Facebook, go on over to YouTube at Soul Coach Studio is my handle, and you can subscribe and click the bell, and you'll know whenever I post a new thing. And over the course of the next like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be doing a mini series, a mini lesson series, not like a mini series back in the day, like a mini lesson series of like 3 videos all about an intro to your Akashic record. So if you are either new to them or if you are, you know what they are and you just want a different perspective. I have colleagues that always say that I kind of take these esoteric concepts that, that people talk about all the time, and I kind of make them fun and easy for people to really kind of understand it or maybe have a new perspective on. So I want to invite you to that. The first one I'll be doing will be this Thursday, right? Let me look and see. Did I write this down? Oh, wait, my bad. This Wednesday, which is the 1st of February. So we're going to talk about what are the Akashic records in that one. So right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Time. If you want to join me for that on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you'll get a little notification that says, hey, Michele's live and she's talking about the Akashic records. So you can come over and hang out. So with all of that, want to get started. So today we're going to talk about the in between energy, that energy, and I'm not going to go into all of the the pagan calendar and all that kind of stuff, or Saint Bridget or any of that, but because there's a lot of like overlap of uh, religious observances right now, or rather in the next couple days. I'll just kind of give a generic overview. So, from what I understand, and if I'm saying this wrong, please feel free to tell me like phonetically how I should be saying this, but whatever. But embolic is that in between time, that exact moment between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So it's kind of that check-in time with self. That check-in time, because as you kind of come into the winter solstice, you're kind of hunkered down. Like I love canning, even though I live in the city. I have a little veggie garden. I shop at the seasons, and then I put stuff up on the shelf. And sometimes I even do like meals in a jar, like chicken soup and chili and all that kind of stuff, just to make life easier. And plus, I prefer to have foods that I know where they came from. I know my farmer. I know they're in a glass jar versus in an aluminum tin, that kind of stuff. So if if we think in terms of that, so as you approach winter solstice, usually what happens is you're kind of making sure you're getting all your stocked up self. So you got all your tomatoes and you got your beans and you got all your things on the shelf to get you through. So that, come midwinter, everything you're like, I'm still good. I don't got to worry about where my green beans are because I made them. They're on the shelf. So it's kind of in that, since you're kind of going through, and now you're kind of at that midpoint of, okay, do I really want to hunker down or do I want to check in? So it's a check-in point, like, and I use the canning thing because it's innocuous, really. So it's kind of time to go check the shelves. Like, what did I use the most of? What do I what do I have like kind of I'm pretty good on? And then like what did I not really need that I did because it was on trend and now I don't eat that. So think of it in terms of your inner work. In the wintertime, it's a great time for us to do our inner work for our self-evaluation because you kind of don't have as much noise. Like, yeah, you have the holidays, DAZE. And once you get through that though, it's kind of like, okay, what did I learn from those experiences and how do I want to move forward? So we're kind of recondoing our, inner work jars. So it's what did I look at and need to let go of. So what did I consume the most of and process? What did I process the most of? What did I, and I'm using process in not in terms of canning, but more what did I process through? What was my biggest theme during this time? And what did I let go of? Because we get let go of a lot of shit in the last couple months. And then what were some tools that I used to give myself credit? What were some tools that I used that I had known from my past processing experiences that helped me process this stuff? And then what was some of the stuff like, did I really need 14 rose quartz crystals? Did I really need all that? Like, what stuff do I not need? Because what we're thinking, the reason I say all this is because you might be in a space of, God, I really just wish spring would come. I just want to get my seeds planted. And the fact is that until you take stock of what you have done and you give yourself credit for all that stuff and you really kind of sort through, what am I keeping? What did I learn? What am I keeping? What am I getting rid of? And what do I not need anymore? Like all that kind of stuff. Then you can see once you kind of sort through all that, what seeds do I need to plant? Do I need to plant more of the stuff that I'm working on? Do I need to plant new things? Because now that I've processed through all this emotional stuff, that I can now, move forward and do new things. Or maybe it's I need to know how to do plant seeds of what stuff I may not know what's coming up. I mean, have you ever done that where you have a garden and you just kind of you get a package of seeds that maybe a friend gave you or you got at the store and you put them in the ground and you think one thing's going to come up and something else comes out. Like last year, perfect example was I really wanted the Italian flat green beans. Well, because nobody sells them fresh. And I would prefer to can them myself. And I tried to order the seeds off the interwebs and I got all excited because it said Roma. The picture was a flat bean. I was so pumped. And then when they sprouted and fruited, I was like, wait a minute. These look like just like pole beans. Like they're the same. So you never really know sometimes what might come up from the seeds you plant. So we need to take stock, give ourselves credit, sort, and do all of this now, like that spring cleaning of the inner self, plus of our spaces, because Louise Hay would always say things like, your outer space, your living space is a reflection of your inner space. So if your outer space is cluttered to the nines, that could be why you can't make decisions and you can't figure stuff out. So right now, kind of deciding, making those decisions, because we're in the moon in Gemini and thought, we're thinking about what do I need to sort here? Sorting through all of the things, because this way I can plant my seeds when spring officially does come. So right now is that time where you're kind of still hunkered down in your little burrow, with all your stuff, and you're kind of sorting through like, oh, what did I go heavy on? Did I eat all my chips that I put in here in the fall? Did I eat all my soup? Did I, oh, I did pretty good. I made enough chili for myself. I can get through till spring. And then you're looking and you're going, you know what? I just made too many dang jars of cranberry juice, which I did because I went a little crazy. Somebody in a canning group said something about cranberry juice, and I was like, ooh, that looks easy. I now have 9 jars. I've given them away. I love it, but it was like, I can't drink that much cranberry juice, but that's okay. And it's live and learn, like sorting out your stuff. What am I going to do with all this so that, and still you're in that in between. So still you're sorting and you're doing to get all that stuff, to get clarity, to spring clean your inner and outer world, but you're also still in that winter hibernation mode. So we might sort, and then we're gonna binge watch some Downton Abbey. You know what I mean? Like, or you're gonna sort and you're gonna find something. Oh, I didn't finish that. I need to go back and finish this, processing this work. So it's like holding both of the things at the same time. The kind of cleaning and doing and practical planning and practical prepping, as we also are taking those inner work naps, while we are in our little burrow in the inner world, because it is still kind of crappy outside. If you're in Nashville, you get what I mean. But that's kind of the feeling. So what do we need? The other thing that I want to just bring up really quick, because I jotted all this kind of stuff down, is the questions you might want to ask yourself. And if you're on the email list, you'll get these. If you are not on the email list, you will want to go to Soul Coach Studio, I have a new little web page, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it'll have an email sign up. So you can sign up and get the email. But anytime I give journal prompts or inner work prompts, usually they're going to be in the weekly or monthly email. Okay. So this will be in the email. And so here are what maybe you can journal on. When you sit down and journal and do your embolic work, like your inner inventory, what was the theme of the majority of your inner work over the last month or two, like since winter solstice till now? So like right before Christmas, I was like, do I have something? It looked like I had something on my finger. Sorry. Right, but December 21st till now, what was the theme going on there? Was it family? Was it career? Was it happiness? Was it inner value, inner joy? What was it for you? And then another one is, what credit can I give myself for using those tools that I already had to help me navigate this stuff? Like, where am I building on the tools in my toolbox to create more ease and flow for myself as I process this stuff in this theme? And then third, what old patterns, beliefs, behaviors, can you let go of? Or your prompt would be, can I let go of, that no longer serve, because those shifts that you've been making throughout this time frame, they just don't serve you anymore. Maybe they served you at one point in time, and that's fine. It doesn't make them good or bad. It just means their time is over and we need to let them go. So what are those things? Because we're coming up on I want to say on the 5th. Yeah. 5th, there's a full moon. That's why this work is good. So February 1st and 2nd is your embolic work, which doing these journal prompts would be really great, because on Sunday when we have our full moon, which let me just double check. I can't remember right off the top of my head. There's too much to remember. Our full moon is in, is it Leo? Y'all? Full moon. Full moon, full moon. I think it's in Leo. I could be wrong. It might be in something else. What is our full moon? Does anybody knows? Go ahead and put it in the chat. I don't think it's Leo, but I could be wrong. Does this one say? No. Let me check one more place. I got 14 zillion places I can check. Let me check one more. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, of course, that one's going to have to update. Well, we're having a full moon, and I was more focused on the embolic thing than the full moon to kind of really give. We'll just check the Google, because that's what we can do. Let's see, Google. Full moon. Oop, full moon, February. Here we go. It says the snow moon, which tells you a whole lot. Like here in Nashville, we say second winter is February, because it's like if you think if you've been in Nashville for like less than a year, you haven't. Our winter, it's like here's a taste in December. Here's more of a taste in January, but here's some 70-degree weather. And by the way, we're going to backhand you with some ice storms in February. So it's kind of what's going on. So it's funny that it's like the snow moon is what it is called. And let's see, full moon. Let's see, February moon giant. Blah blah blah. What is the sign? Mm-mm-mm. You know, sometimes it's like things just ain't working the way you want. I'm feeling very discombobulated this morning, so I apologize, y'all. Just kind of seeing what that next full moon is going to be. I don't know. Like I said, if you know and you want to put in the comments what sign that's in, I sure would love that. And let's see, full moon, February. Oh, there we go. Full moon, you're the full moons. Full moon, and of course, they don't have the signs here. Oh, goodness me. You guys, I'm so sorry. Full moon, January sign. It is in Leo. Look at me knowing shit. Thank you, Katie. It is in Leo. I said it was in Leo, and I was like, that can't be right. Leo is in August. But who knows? So, full moon in Leo. So, this might be, thank you, Katie, so much. Feeling discombobulated. So, let's look at the whole message then. Okay. So, it's that time of taking stock right now, right? Because we're in the in-between time, in the embolic time, which is tomorrow. Right now, Wednesday and Thursday, right? Because tomorrow's 31st, my parents' anniversary. Note to self. And then doing that inventory journal prompts like I have in the email that's going out tomorrow. So you can do that over the next Wednesday and Thursday, right? And then just kind of ruminate with it. I love how like the energy just flows here. Your moon is in Leo. You are so you love that's why your self-care is when you can like be without in the sun in the shining. How do I shine? So think of it that way. So full moon in Leo is interesting. So we're shining, even though it's a full moon and we're shining a light on what we're releasing. And I'm sure that people will talk about other ways of viewing this, but the way that I see this is we're releasing because it's a full moon. We're talking about what we're keeping, what did I learn? What can I give myself credit for? Which is Leo. What can I give myself credit for? What can I let go of that doesn't serve me? Full moon stuff. Add that to your full moon ritual. And what do I want to be grateful for? Because full moons are great for harvesting, for letting go, for being in gratitude, right? So doing this embolic work of that in between time of really kind of like, and again, there's other rituals around this that involve St. Bridget and other stuff. If you want to look that up, great. This is what I'm getting for our work for this week is to really review what have you done for yourself, for your inner work between winter solstice and now. Getting that kind of out on paper because I want us to start focusing on not just the work we got to do, but you've come a long way, baby, and give yourself some credit. And that's what this full moon is going to help you with. So once you kind of do that journal work, that pre-work for your full moon, what happens is in that moon, do your full moon ritual, whatever that looks like for you. And then you do I'm going to release this. I'm going to be grateful for this. And I'm going to start planning what my harvest is going to look like in the fall of 2023. Ooh, right? That's kind of what this is going to be. We're shining light. We're going to see what do we want to be in the world? Like we talk about that a lot. Like, how do I want to show up in this world? Which is Leo. So, how do I want to be out in the world? But I got to recap this other stuff so that I can know what I need to do to get to be that person come harvest time. What do I want myself to be harvesting and what do I need to do? Who do I need to be to get there? But I need to, before I even do that, because a lot of us are like, I want to get there. But before we can do that, we have to do this kind of inventory. So that's the energy of this week. Kind of do that inventory and be okay with being where you are. Being where you are is great in that in between of doing inventory while still kind of hibernating. That's cool. So we're going to pull 3 cards again from our animal deck because Earth, animals, right? So what I think the question for this week's energy will be is, what do we need to know? What does everyone need to know to support them in holding both of these things at the same time? Because a lot of times we think we either are in hibernation or we're out doing stuff, but we don't think about I'm gonna hibernate still because I still got a little, it's still kind of icky outside, and I still want to kind of hibernate. I still got a couple of jars on in the pantry, and I still need got a few things I got to sort out still. Also, with this, I'm gonna take inventory of what's in the pantry. I'm gonna give myself credit for the stuff I've already done, and I'm gonna maybe sit down and do a brain dump on what do I want to what I want life to look like come the fall of this year, come the next time I start prepping to go into my burrow in 2023 at the end of the year. Mm, okay. So we're gonna pull some cards. Like what energy, what do we need to focus on to support that holding both things? Oh, okay. La, la. Ooh, that's funny. Mm-hmm. You can't make shit up. And I hear you laughing at me, Katie. I hear you laughing. Be at home. That's funny. Oh, and we got, wait, come here, vulture. Come here. There we go. Cat popped out. Okay. So, and these are all upside down cards, which tells me, I think this is, hold this in mind when you're doing the work this week, with the understanding of you might have moments where you're like, duh, I totally knew that, and I wasn't doing, I was sitting in my humanness instead of really balancing my humanness and my spiritual, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So that's why they're all upside down. So I love that, if the whole thing is all about holding both things of doing inventory and planning, while also kind of still hibernating and kind of doing whatever, cleaning up whatever the rest of the inner work is. I love this. Be open to infinite possibilities. So we have starfish spirit, right? Starfish spirit is be open. Like, see how the starfish is open, open. And when we do this, when we kind of act like the starfish, if we stood in a star figure, what is the chakra that's most open? It's your heart chakra, putting out forwardness. So to me, when I see starfish, open to infinite possibilities, and lead with your heart energy. Not a whole lot of this, because right now we're in that Gemini moon energy, which is a lot of thinking, a lot of like, should I do this or should I do that? And instead of being in that space of indecisiveness, the flip of that is more saying, you know what? What if I could hold both? What if I could hold both? So be open to the infinite possibilities. It might not be this or that. It might be, I hold space for both. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. We got to hold space for both of the things. Because when we're in between winter and spring. I'm holding the both, the hibernation and the seed planting, the garden planting, holding both. Okay. And then be at home is Wombat. I love the Wombat. Isn't she adorable? I love her with her little crown, but she's upside down. So being at home, this is saying you may feel like, I want to go, I want to do, I want to see. I'm sick of winter. I am sick of cold. I'm sick of effing rain and snow and ice. And okay, get it all out. Get it all out. Be at home with yourself. Be okay where you are. One of the four agreements is do your best. Not the kind that your teacher, your mom, or your dad be like, do your best, which in their mind meant be the perfect child or whatever. Do your best means show up however you can be in that moment, and that's okay. Whatever your best is in that moment is okay, right? So be at home with doing your best, whatever that looks like for you in that moment. Be at home with holding both things, right? Be at home with holding both things and the infinite possibilities. Be at home and doing things in the sense of I'm able to inventory while also maybe I have Downton Abbey playing in the background. I'm binging while I'm inventorying. It might be something like that where it's that easy. Or it might be I'm holding both things because in the same day, I might have plans with my friends to go to a movie and chill and just still kind of be in that hibernation mode of not really planting seeds or whatever, but also, or catching up on a book that you want to read. But also in the same day, you might allocate time to do the journal prompts, to do the things you want to do, to kind of revisit what did I do? Let me celebrate me a little bit, holding both of these things, being open to both of these things. And then the last thing is nothing is wasted because a lot of times when we sit around and we're like, I don't want to be, that's what we feel like right now. We think I'm wasting so much time. Mm-mm. If you reframe and you say to yourself, okay, listen, nothing is wasted. And I'm looking at this. I got to be open to infinite possibility. I got to be at home right here, and nothing is wasted. So, what this reading says to me, and it's upside down, start moving from a space of gratitude. I am grateful that I am stuck in the in between. You know why? Because it gives me time to review, to sort, and to plan without having to plant the seeds so that I don't get a bunch of seeds that I thought I knew what they were and they come up something else, which might be divine intervention, but still, you don't want to think you're planting tomatoes and end up with a bunch of like, Brussels sprouts, because that would suck for me because I don't like Brussels sprouts. And I love tomatoes. So, do you see what I mean? So, from the perspective of the cards and the energy of this week, is we have a tendency to feel stuck because when you're in the in between, you feel stuck. What Spirit and I are trying to encourage you in is to use your time. It's not wasted. Be at home in that space. Be at home holding both things of, you know, still being in hibernation and doing your inner work while also kind of reassessing, doing inventory and planning, what do I want to do next? Who do I want to, this is how far I came since December 21st. I wonder what my life would look like. What could I do between now and the end of the year that moves me towards where I want to go? That's cool to think about. And you don't have to think about it too hard. Might say, well, between now and say summer solstice or spring equinox, when the spring comes, what do I want to be ready and prepared to do? And then our main thing is just be open to the infinite possibilities. Let your heart chakra lead you. Let it lead you. That's where I think this all needs to go. So that is this week's message. The email is forthcoming probably tomorrow. And again, the Intro to Akashic Records first episode will be on YouTube. I'll do a live stream for my own accountability. And I'm still kind of getting that stuff posted. So I would encourage you to subscribe and click the bell on my YouTube channel, which is at Soul Coach Studio if you're not on YouTube right now. So I'll be doing the Intro to Akashic Records, and then that will end up leading right into the journey to your Akashic Records, which I have 8 spots open for. So if you want to do that, make sure you check that out. If you go to soulcoachstudio.com, right there at the top, it has 2 little buttons. One says schedule a session. So I put that up top because like people are like, where the heck? Were complaining they couldn't find it. But the next button over is Journey to the Akashic Records, and there's even a link in the menu. So you can click either of those and for more information and to register. If you already know about Akashic Records, you and I have talked about this, and you just are like, I'm ready to sign up. We start, I think it's February 21st, which is a Tuesday, because I wanted to start kind of in the new moon energy is kind of on Monday, which comes through, I think, for 3 or 4 days. And so I wanted to make sure, because I can't start on Monday, but Tuesday we will start in that new moon energy, going into the Akashic Records, traveling to yours. You can read your own, and we're going to do some really cool stuff. But if you want to learn about Akashic Records before we do that, join me on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central on my YouTube channel for the first video in my Intro to the Akashic Records series. So I'm excited to share that stuff with you. And even if you know about Akashic Records and you want to like new perspective, I kind of always put my own spin. So I welcome you to join me, and I look forward to seeing you there. So I hope this was helpful. Have a lovely, lovely week. And until next time, I will see you in the vortex. Love y'all so much. Bye-bye.